Okay, Brian, my friend, let's look at this post. So I've done a little research, and it looks like a lot of people with an Acer laptop trying to install Windows. 11 was having trouble with a generic Intel driver. They had to get the specific driver for their laptop model right from Acer. I gotta tell you, Acer's site sucks unless you have the exact laptop model. So I can't go in and give you an example without doing that. But it's got to be the driver um, for that particular model. So I don't know how you're installing Windows 11, but let's first start with Ventoy. Don't install anything without a Ventoy flash drive. Go to Ventoy, download it for your Windows machine, the Windows zip, get it installed, and you'll pop a flash drive in. I don't think I have the Linux Ventoy installed. No, I don't, because it doesn't get installed. I got to run it from a file manually. Let me pause. Maybe I've got it on this drive. I boot into Pop OS or Ubuntu. I'm in Pop OS right now. I'll be right back. All right, so it's a lot easier under Windows. There's not an installable file for Ventoy. Excuse me. To get Ventoy running, um, oh geez, how do I do it? How do I do it? I think I have to run this command without reading it too much. So I got Ventoy in this folder. So if I right click, open, can I do it here? Open with terminal. I want terminal. I don't think I can do it. I'm not really showing off my chops here. Oh, right here. It's already on the menu. Open with terminal. All right, right click, run that command, type my password. Oh, that's not what I want. Hold on. All right, I copied the wrong thing. Okay, so now I can visit this website, and that'll be my Ventoy interface. So back to a web browser, type that in. Oh shit, I didn't right click and copy. You'll just have a program. Okay, what's going on here? All right, let's try this. 192.168.68. I forget the IP address of this system. 86. .86. Let's try this. Under Windows, you won't have to go through this shenanigans. Well, I'm failing on all fronts. Let me pause it. All right, I got the older version of it running. I don't know why the newer one didn't, but you'll just have a program with this interface. You pop a flash drive in. Let me pop one in that's not a Ventoy flash drive. Refresh it. You'll see your flash drive, and you'll click install. When you're done, close the program. And I'm going to eject this flash drive. I'll pop in my actual Ventoy flash drive. And when you see it here, copy a Windows ISO file to it. Now let me show you what I've got. What I would suggest doing is grabbing one off the internet from those special places. If I go to Home, go to my ISO folder, drop down. Let's see, these aren't sorted alphabetically. Drop down, something like this or that. I think the one that I'm using is this multi-edition 10-in-1, no TPM ISO, 5.8 gigabytes. That might have a few drivers loaded. It might see your hard drive controller in that laptop. It might not. So if you struggle too much getting Windows going, you'll have the Ventoy flash drive made already. You'll have a Windows ISO copy to it. Hopefully you're using one that's modded to not worry about TPM on an old laptop. If you want to try Ubuntu, put that on the flash drive. Let's see, the current stable version is Ubuntu 24.04. It will simulate that for you. So let's get rid of this Control C. Let's go get Ubuntu. Download for free. And you want the latest 24.04.3. LTS is long-term, what is it? Long-term support. 5.9 gigabytes. I'm going to download it. You don't need to do any of this unless you want the newsletter. And I'm going to change this to test install so we know which file we're using. And I'm going to save it. So I don't have the equipment to show you how to install Ubuntu fresh, but I can do it virtually. While we're waiting for that to download, let me go to my YouTube channel, content, I'll search for Ubuntu. I've got lots of Ubuntu videos. Let's show all of them. This 23-minute one shows you everything you need to know once Ubuntu is installed. A little bit you have to do to make sure it updates properly, how to make it look better. Ubuntu normally comes with a toolbar over here, and when you get done with my video, the toolbar will be down here and it'll be just set up for you to install Plex. Now you'll have a couple options. We're still downloading. You can use the package install of Plex, the snap package install built right into this Ubuntu desktop. It's great for USB media. You don't need to worry about any Linux permission. Ubuntu snap package architecture takes care of permissions. You can also go to Plex downloads. You don't want to do it this way. Plex media server for Linux. Choose your distribution. It would be the Ubuntu 16.04 or greater, or Debian 8 or greater. It's 64-bit. You would download this deb file. You got to open it up a certain way. It'll install, but then you have to figure out all the permission issues yourself. That'll take you a week, so you don't want that installed. There is another way to do Docker and Portainer. I have all that in videos. Very easy. I've got it running on my Ubuntu boot on this computer, but I'm in Pop! OS now, and then CosOS is a very easy install. Once Ubuntu's set up, you go to CosOS. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's do CosOS Wiki. That's better. CosOS Wiki Home. Click Get Started. You copy this command or this one. You open up terminal. In Ubuntu, you would click up here, start searching terminal, very similar to Pop! OS. You'd right click, paste, hit enter, and CosOS gets installed. I have to watch my own CosOS install, um, but it's very easy to set up Plex. So those are the options on Ubuntu. CosOS makes it easy to add media from a USB drive or a local drive without any stupid permission issues getting in the way. So let me show you CosOS 192.168.68. I think it's 6.3. This is a bench system downstairs running CosOS. It just runs on top of Ubuntu, and this web interface can be accessed from anywhere. So if I go into storage, you see the, let me go into this way. You see the Plex USB Media 1, and all I did was rename that specifically with a tool called Disk. The video shows how. Where is it? Disk. I renamed the USB device on the actual computers, not on this computer, so that it would come up as Plex USB Media 1, no matter what it's plugged into. And this is where I have media on that on a USB drive plugged into it. And I moved that CosOS from one piece of hardware to the other. And when I boot it up, everything just works. So this is a great portable install of Ubuntu. Ubuntu doesn't care what computer it's plugged into, it'll load the drivers on boot up. Windows kind of does that now too, but it's still a little funky. Okay, so I promised you I'd show you how to get Ubuntu installed. So I'm going to go to boxes. Oh, before I go that far, let's go back to YouTube Studio. This tells you how to get everything ready for that. And if you want to do a CosOS install, I've got those videos too. This one was to help someone use CosOS just for networking, so that might be one to watch. So here's the CosOS Plex server install under Ubuntu 24.04. So that's a CosOS video. All right, let's get Ubuntu installed. You see, I got a lot of things here installed. So I'm going to hit the plus up here. And this is the only way I can simulate a Linux install. I don't have a video capture device to plug in to capture the boot screen. So you would load this ISO on the Ventoy flash drive, reboot the computer. You'll have to discover what the boot key is. On my desktop here with an Acer motherboard, it is the F8 key. On my two ProDesk HP ProDesk bench systems, 8th and 9th gen, it's F9, I think. On my 11th gen Intel NUC, I think it's F10. Every system's different. And you might have to change BIOS settings to make the boot a little bit longer. Fast boot won't give you much time to press those special function keys. And a BIOS might have the option to turn those special function keys off too, besides entering the BIOS. So you might have to check the BIOS, and you can turn secure boot off while you're there too. But this version of Ubuntu will install with secure boot on. All right, so I'm going to choose this file will simulate an install. All I'm going to do is bump the RAM virtually up to 8 gigabytes. I have 64 in this system, and I'll change this to 40 gig of virtual hard drive space. Now I can install UEFI or BIOS. I'm just going to leave it for BIOS, and I'll hit create. This will simulate a live boot. So you see I have these options. You can use a live boot of Ubuntu to do a memory test on any system. Test memory. I'm going to choose the first option, try or install Ubuntu. How are we doing? We're 14 minutes in. So while we're booting up, just remember, once it's installed, follow that video for a new Ubuntu install before you install Plex with the snap package install or CasaOS or Docker. I've got videos on all of them. I think for your purposes, if your brother's never going to move the Plex server and might just put the drive in a different system for a simple server, a snap package install. But this how to prep one is the video to watch after it's installed. So we boot it in. Your language will be auto-detected. If you're having trouble seeing, click this seeing option and switch to large text. I don't need to on this. Well, it might help the video. Click next. It should discover English UK like it's discovering US for me. I'll leave it on wired connection. This is the point where you can connect to Wi-Fi. With a laptop, definitely do it. If you can plug the laptop in hardwired, that's even better. Choose the update now. This gives you the latest, greatest everything, but you will have to restart the installer. And that's just right here. Right-click Install Ubuntu, click Open. The installer starts again. So let's go through the prompts. You want the interactive installation. Click the extended selection. Check both these boxes. You can read them when you're there. Erase disk and install Ubuntu. If Windows is on that laptop, on the drive, it might ask you to keep both. You can keep both, but Windows updates might fuck with Ubuntu. If it's a brand new hard drive, just install Ubuntu like this. If your brother really doesn't like it, you can go back and get Windows installed. So erase and install. That I have a username. You can change this to anything you want. This is the name of the virtual software, and pick a password. This is just a login password. Doesn't have to be super secure if you don't have Grand Central Station running through your house. Time zone should automatically be connected. If not, you can find it easily. You really don't have to click far because you see how they're broken up into these lines. That's just New York for everything in that bar. All right, so this takes about 10 minutes. I'll pop back in when it's finished. Okay, I'm back. You can check the timestamp up here. It didn't take that long. So I'm going to choose continue testing and shut it down manually. So it's going to ask you to remove the installation media. So remove the installation media and hit enter. All right, now what I need to do, all right, where are we? This didn't shut down. Let me shut it down. Okay, I need to adjust this before I boot it back up. I have to go to preferences. This is nothing you have to do. I have to remove that ISO file. Okay, so now I can start it. Now you could watch that video I pointed out, but I'm going to just show you how to quickly get this prepped before you install Plex. So I'll go ahead and click through this. Read what you need to read. Well, I don't want to enable Ubuntu Pro. So I need to skip for now. So you can decide whether you want to share data with Ubuntu, and that's it. So normally you update Ubuntu through the settings for the whole OS or the apps through the App Center. But we need to do a fix. These are the only 4 commands you're going to need in Ubuntu. Let me resize this. So there's a bug in the Snap Store when you first install it. So let's fix this. I'm going to get rid of the help, right-click, unpin. Right-click, unpin the music player. Get rid of Thunderbolt, and for now I'll get rid of Firefox because I'll go through the Chrome install too. I can click here, or I can click here, this icon, and I can type TE for terminal. I'm going to right click and pin to dash. Now I'm going to type SET and do the same with settings, pin to dash. So I'm going to open terminal up, and I want to update this, but what I want to first do is fix the Snap Store. So I'm going to copy sudo space snap space refresh space snap dash store. I cannot control V to paste it in. I have to do right click, paste. Sudo gives you root privileges, so it'll ask for your user password. I'm not sure what I did here. Wrong password. I'm wondering if I forgot something. All right, let's skip that. Let me just pause you, see if I can fix that. Maybe I typed the password wrong. All right, I'm back. I think I got things fixed. So let me unpin this stuff again. And I'll repin. Oh, but I don't want to be in boxes. I do want to be in boxes. Oh, the fuck. I'm staying up too late. Okay, back again. We're going to go back to settings, and I'm going to do the App Store fix. I'm gonna copy this. You can just type it if you want. Right click, paste, enter. Do my password. Maybe this new version of Ubuntu does not have an issue because it's one revision newer since I've installed it last time. All right, so you see this little 6 down here? Let's see if it updates without a fix. It would be nice if Ubuntu finally fixed this. This would be like the 3rd revision since 24.01 came out, 3rd or 4th. All right, looks like they fixed that bug. So it's updating Firefox. It'll go down the way and update the rest. So I'll minimize that. So you can update Ubuntu quickly with these 2 commands, or you can go to settings once the App Store updates and drop down to System, Software Updates. It'll check for updates. And then have you update. But you don't want to do these until the App Store updates finish. And they're almost done. All right, so install now, remind me later. There's the details of the updates. So if you don't want to do them like that, you can go back to terminal and it's sudo apt update. Right click, paste, enter, password, enter again, and then get sudo apt upgrade copied. And you could type sudo apt list space dash dash upgradable to see what's going on. I'm going to just upgrade everything, hit Y for yes, and this will quickly run through the updates. I actually find this easier, just those two commands. And you see we're at 36%, 40%, doesn't take that long. And if Ubuntu needs you to reboot, it'll reboot. So let's get Firefox started so we can download Chrome. So I'm just going to search in the URL window for Google Chrome. Chrome browser. Download Chrome. Pre-selects the version for Debian or Ubuntu or an Ubuntu or Debian based distro. Downloading it through Firefox. We've got it. I can close Firefox. All right, so this is done. It doesn't tell me I have to reboot. Now you might just want to reboot anyway, but I'm going to skip that. So I'll go to the files, go to downloads, double click. I want to change the view. I'm going to right click, open with, click the App Center, open. Well, you know what? Since the update, let's reboot. Let's go to the files again. Downloads. Right click, open with, App Center. To get the potentially unsafe, we're just going to install. Yes. Password again. All right, so while that's installing, let's show you how to make this look better. Go into settings. And let me look for accessibility. And I'll go to seeing and let's turn on that large text. So I'll hit this to go back. And I want to be under Ubuntu desktop. So I want to move the position on screen from left to bottom, and I'll uncheck panel mode, and that'll give me a proper toolbar. And you can position where new icons show up. The default is right here. And you can change the size of the toolbar. I usually set it at 50, but virtually let's put it around 54 or 56. And I don't use any tiling features. I'll turn those off. Then configure dock behavior. I'm going to uncheck show volumes and the trash. I don't need to see that in the dock. And see how the dock doesn't auto hide? I'll click that. And now when it's overlapped, it'll hide. And if you bring your cursor down, well, this is virtual, so it's not working for me. My regular Linux desktop is popping up, but you get the idea. It'll work for you when it's installed normally. Okay, so that's the setup. And we're going to do one more thing. We're going to search for Chrome. I'll right click, pin it to the dash, hit escape, Chrome's installed. I can close this. And now I can click and drag to rearrange things in any order I want. So if I want settings over here, that's fine. I wish I could move show apps to the beginning. That's stationary at the end. I'd love to have that at the beginning. But now this is set up to install Plex any way you want. And again, it's a dead simple Plex server if you use the Snap package version that's already in this app store. You just can't move this Plex install in the future. Any other Plex install under Linux, Docker container, or Windows can be moved to any other OS easily, or into a Docker container or out of a Docker container. This one I've been unsuccessful in moving to another medium. But for a simple server, it'll see your USB media. It's pretty easy. And there's no sense installing it virtually because I won't be able to give it USB media to look at. But this is, again, stupidly easy. And I've got videos on all this. So we're at 31 minutes. You can watch the other video. It basically covers just about everything I've done here, I think. And I'm glad to find out that the latest and greatest version of Ubuntu has already fixed the Snap Store bugs, so that's not necessary. All right, I'll get this out to YouTube, get it out to you, Brian, and I'm hitting the sack myself. I'll be around tomorrow morning, my time, from, I don't know, 9-ish through maybe 2 in the afternoon or so. I'll be in and out, or in and out of the computer room. So if you guys have trouble, I don't know, what is there, 5 hours difference between us? Get a hold of me and I'll try to get back to you.